Hello, Ger here. This week I'm going to be talking about Mary Boyle, who is Ireland's longest missing person and child. She went missing from her grandparents' home in rural Donegal in 1977. There has been no trace or sighting of her ever since that fateful day. She was only 6 years old. It has received lots of media attention in Ireland, but not always for the right reasons. Police misconduct and political interference being some. This is Mary's story. Charlie and Anne Boyle had moved back home to rural Donegal after living in Birmingham for some years. Their children, Patrick 8 and twin girls Mary and Anne 6, along with their parents, made a new life for themselves in Burtonport in County Donegal. Mary was a happy and chatty child and always full of life. In March 1977, the family made a visit to their maternal grandparents' home, a rural cottage in Cashlin. The only other homes nearby were their neighbours, the Macaulays, who were a 5-minute walk away. Mary's uncle Jerry and his wife Eva, along with their 2 sons, were also there, and they were all there to attend a memorial mass of a family member who had died in an accident a few years prior. Mary spent her time playing outside and helping her mum with chores. The following day, March the 18th, Mary's uncle was fixing his parents' roof and decided to return the ladder he had borrowed from the Macaulays, who lived 400 yards away. This was around 4 p.m. He set off over the boggy field, and Mary, who had been playing outside with the other children, decided she wanted to go. She was wearing a light purple knitted cardigan, black trousers, and had on a pair of Wellington boots. Jerry let Mary follow him until he reached muddy puddles filled up with 6 inches of water. Mary was eating a bag of potato crisps, and her uncle Jerry told her to go back to the house. This was the last time anyone ever saw Mary. Jerry went to the Macaulays and chatted a while, and returned back to his parents' house around 4:30 p.m. Mary's mother Anne looked out to check on the children and realised Mary was missing. Jerry at this time was fixing a stone wall, and he jumped into his car to go out and look for her. Anne Senior was distraught. When Jerry returned and explained Mary had followed him to the Macaulays and he had sent her back, Anne then jumped into her car to go and search. It was then decided to phone the Garda in Ballyshannon, and a bigger search began. The bog was searched and a lake was drained behind Mary's grandparents' home. Within a day, there were over 500 volunteers searching a 25-mile radius of bogland and fields. The search was called off after 4 days when nothing was found. It seemed that Mary was forgotten after that, and it was just put down to a mystery of what could have happened to her. It seemed she had vanished without a trace. Over the years, it was down to her family's insistence when searches were carried out, but nothing ever came of them. In 2003, the Police Service of Northern Ireland and Police Scotland were investigating Robert Black, the notorious child killer. And as Ballyshannon was just over the border, and he was also well known around the pubs in the area. Black later died, never confessing to any murders. Brian McMahon, a convicted paedophile, was questioned in 2015, but again, nothing came of it. Mary's family were frustrated, and her twin sister Anne looked for political assistance to help her find her sister's killer. She did not believe it was Black or McMahon. Her belief was that it was a police and political cover-up. In 2016, Mary's disappearance was brought to the public's attention again due to her sister and cousin Margot's determination. There was a controversial documentary by Gemma O'Doherty. There was claims by retired Garda in the documentary that they had been pressured to lay off a certain person in the investigation by political figures. This was denied and threats of legal proceedings followed. Anne is confident she knows who murdered her sister, and this has caused a rift between her and her family members. Mary's father, Charlie, died in a fishing accident in 2005. Anne has vowed she will not stop fighting for her twin sister, Mary. Gemma Doherty's documentary is again up on YouTube after it was taken down, and it is definitely well worth a watch.